Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Tuesday. Happy first day back after the long weekend. I hope you guys had a great long weekend, rocked out, whatever you did, had yourself a nice rest and relaxation time and are currently ready to get back to the daily grind of life. I know it's not the funnest for everyone, but we do what we got to do, right? Quickly, before we get started here, next week, actually next Wednesday, convention starts, and I'm super excited. I actually can't wait. I actually thought it was this week. That's how excited I am for it. So I apologize to those that I've been telling that it was this week. It's actually next week. Starts on Wednesday. Gives us a little bit of time. Thank goodness for that. So this is, it's an essential oils conference. It's doTERRA's conference. It's called Heal this year, right? We all need to heal a little bit after the last few years of kind of whatnot has been happening. This is if you're at all interested in essential oils, alternative wellness, how to get your living a natural alternative lifestyle, getting away from sort of modern medicine. Personal wellness, new products, exclusive products, meet the farmers, learn about how we are impacting the world through the Healing Hands Foundation, party with everybody that you want to. And you can also, if you're looking to be an entrepreneur, make a few extra dollars, especially nowadays, right, with rising cost of inflation. Actually, something quickly off topic here, I learned today that the inflation rate is rising at 7% and wages are rising at a 5% increase. So right there, the prices are rising at 2% faster than our wages are going up. So that's something that we need to take it into consideration now. So if you're looking, again, to make a couple extra bucks, then this is definitely an event that you do not want to miss. All of this. This is one of my favorite times of year. I'm so excited. So if you're interested in attending convention, tickets are still on sale for the virtual party. Definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Man, I'm so excited. I actually can't wait. I thought it was this week. That's why I'm so excited for it. Womb TV. Hey man, what's happening? Thank you so much for joining us. Taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. We are getting into today's topic right now. What I actually wanted to talk about was some tips on how to sort of stay cool, calm, and collected during this back to school season that we are experiencing now. Not everybody experiences that at the same time, but more or less this week, next week, last week, something like that is all around the time that we end up back to school. And, actually one of the things that I read today was it exerts a reaction, 3 words, back to school. And, it could be, it could be the worst feeling in the world, right? Death, destruction, oh my God, my world is crumbling around me. Or you get the other end of that spectrum where parents are so grateful for their kids to go back to school and get away from them, right? And leave them a little bit of time for themselves, right? So no matter what your feelings are around this situation, fact of the matter is that it happens and we need to be able to deal with it, right? So what I have actually here is a few tips to to kind of set yourself up for success, right? Back to school is one of the times of year, there's like 2 or 3 times a year where it's super hectic, right? And there's just so much going on, especially, we're trying to get into a new routine. We're trying to, change the way that we've been. The last 2 months have been awesome, right? Summer holidays. And now we need to get back to the day-to-day grind of school time, right? So, whether it be parents sending their kids back to school or older adults going to school, just as something, to up your game, or, whether we're entering college for the first time, these tips can really help anybody. And I'm actually excited to share these with you because, I put these together with Tina actually, and both of us, we did the college thing, we did the university thing, and now we want to share some tips about what helped us get through it and some things that you can do to set yourself up for success. So, without further ado, with that, let's get into the first one. First one I have here is the schedule around your schedule. What I mean by that is to make sure that you get your schedule, right? You're going to have your daily to-do list, right? Classes, lunchtime, right? It's got all of your things laid out from beginning to end of the day. But what also needs to happen is we need to schedule in time for ourselves, as well as we need to schedule in time for whatever sort of homework we're going to need to have, whatever sort of wind down time we're going to need to have, whatever sort of learning period we need to have after school, right? This is really what I'm talking about, is the planning around your planning, right? We have the day already accounted for, right? Parents, we go to work, children, we go to school, right? To some sort of that, that realm of reality. And then what we need to do is we need to schedule outside of our schedule, right? So we need to be able to know, because there's at the end of it, there's still like things that need to get done, right? We still need to eat, right? Laundry, grocery shop, whatever extracurricular activities are happening. And so all of this stuff still needs to get done. It doesn't just stop just because we're going to school. And so that's why we need to really know what our schedule is like around our schedule. And we also need to schedule in time for ourselves, right? Relax time, relaxation time, resting, recovering periods. We still need to sleep, right? All of this stuff still needs to happen, and we need to be conscious about it. And I can promise you that if you're all up in your head, right, you forget things, because you tend to make things out as a bigger deal in your head than it really is in reality. So also your brain is performing 100 billion or something like that functions every day. So what it does is it kind of leaves specific things of your reality out so that you don't have to actually deal with it. What that does is it causes you to forget things that you need to get done. That's why we need to put it in the schedule. That's why we need to make a schedule, right? And then we need to put it in the schedule, things that need to get done. So therefore, as much as we don't want to, say, as much as we can't say yes to everything, we don't want to say no to everything either, right? We need to, or we would like to have some sort of life outside of work or school or homework, right? And in order to accomplish that, and actually not even in order to accomplish that, but an easier way to accomplish that is to schedule it in. Plan for it, right? Understand that, at, 7 o'clock on Thursday night, right? We're going to go to the local, museum to see what the new artifacts are that are in there. And this is the thing that, is going to have to happen, right? So we're going to have to plan around it. Also, in that same aspect, if you are invited to something that you think might actually be a cool thing to go to, then you look in your schedule, right, and you realize that you've got piano practice or whatever at somewhere around that same time. You know that you're going to need to do some a little bit of game management right there in order to kind of free up some time, or that's something that you might have to say no to, not this time, maybe next time. Get your schedule, learn about your schedule, right? What you have to get done. Then put in the other things that need to get done in that schedule, and you'll realize really quickly that you do have a lot of extra time on your hands if you plan it correctly. This, right? If you fail, Winston Churchill said it the best. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So get a plan, make a schedule around that plan, and let's get it. It's going to be an easier thing for you to do later on if you're already in the habit of scheduling around your schedule, so that you can see when you have openings and when you don't actually have a chance to do, things that maybe you're invited to. Trust me more than anything that making lists will be your saving grace. I didn't actually realize that until I met Tina and she started talking to me about the lists, right? So make yourself a list at the very least. All right, I did that. Number 2, use Sundays wisely. Saturdays, more often than not, are going to be your rest and recovery day and your sleep in day. And then on Sunday, you can still sleep in too, right? This is what I mean. Throughout the week, we do live very busy on-the-go lifestyles, right? We have very busy schedules that don't leave a whole lot of other time. For me, I go to work 10 hours every day, right? And if I'm sleeping for 8 hours like we're suggested to, that's 18 out of 24 hours in the day that are already accounted for. And so that leaves me 6 hours left in the day to do everything else that I need to get done. So, in my aspect, or in my situation, as well as the situation of, I would assume, at least 50% of the population. I don't know the exact number, but I would I would say that it's higher, but I would say about 50% of the population and we cut out two things in order to make our lives a little bit easier: sleep and food, right? Nutrition goes out the wayside. We kind of pick up, something fast and quick on the way home. And also, we stay up a little bit later than we should have, therefore not allowing ourselves the ample amount of sleep that we're supposed to get on a daily basis. And let's get real here. We all know the person at work or school or wherever we go to that we think has not had enough sleep, and they are not the funnest person to be around. So that's where our weekends come into play, right? As much as we shouldn't sleep, quote unquote, the weekend away, we can make up for a little bit of sleep that we miss throughout the week. And if we plan it wisely, again, we schedule it, right, we can actually use it to our advantage. Also, this is where Sundays come in. Sundays has got to be the meal prep day, as well as trying to lay your clothes out for at least a few days, right? What I would suggest is laying your clothes out the night before, but if you can do it on Sunday and you can kind of have it like a little pattern. For me, what I try to do is organize my closet, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I try. It doesn't always work, and it doesn't always go the way it's planned, but at least if I put in the effort and I have it somewhat set out there, it makes it a lot easier for me in the morning come the day of. Meal prepping on Sunday is going to be the most, that for me in life in general has been the most beneficial thing that I have decided to start doing. Meal prepping is, just making most of your food for the week all on Sunday. For us, we normally do, we do lasagnas, we do like chicken stir fry, we do some sort of like burgers maybe for one night, and that's it, right? We try and do things that will make us food or make us food for multiple meals. I guess, yeah, that makes sense. I think so. If it doesn't, let me know. But definitely, hello world, what are you talking about? Thank you, hello world, for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. We are talking how to set yourself up for success during this back to school season. Tip number 2 here is to use Sundays wisely. I was talking about how great meal prepping has been for me in my everyday life, talking about how making more food than we need to at one sitting is very beneficial. We live, I talked about this before, right? We live very busy on the go lifestyles, and for us to give ourselves that little extra time in the morning is so much benefit. It can be so beneficial to your overall well-being, right? Regardless of what's happening. If you don't have to wake up and make food in the morning, right? That's really what I'm saying, right? If you wake up in the morning and you have to make breakfast, lunch, and maybe not dinner, but you have to make breakfast and lunch for you and the family. That's a lot going on in the morning when we already don't really feel like being around. You sell essential oil. Yes, I do sell essential oils. I love using essential oils. I use them for everything. And and actually, essential oils are a great back to school benefit for you. But Sundays are where it's got to be, right? Does it help? Yes, it does help. It helps me for everything. I don't actually use modern medicine for very much anymore, and I can attest that to the essential oils. It is very nice. Thank you for that. I appreciate. Do you use essential oils for anything? Have you heard of them? Have you tried them at all? Sundays is Sundays is really the day. I try not to. I have never tried it. I suggest trying it very much, but definitely do it from a trusted source. A lot of essential oil, the essential oil industry is kind of tainted. There's no real, guidelines to essential oils. So a lot of companies, they do, they don't really care too much more outside of profits. So just make sure that you trust the company, and I can promise you that they are amazing and from a trusted source, right? And they do everything that you need to. But the reason I talk about Sundays instead of Saturdays is because Saturdays is normally a rest and recovery day, and by the time we realize that Saturdays are normally over, so that's where I normally use Sundays. Saturdays are my rest and recovery day, and then Sundays are my kind of it kind of makes for like a 6-day week, if you will. But it's so much easier. It's so much easier, to get your food ready, to get your clothing ready, to get your bags packed, right? To have everything that I have school on Saturday too. That's another thing I didn't even realize, right? Saturday school is another thing too. As much as Sunday school is a thing too, Saturday school is also a thing. So for me, Sundays have just worked out really more beneficial than anything. But trust me when I tell you that meal prepping has been an amazing thing. And do that. Try it. And if it doesn't work for you, definitely come back and tell me that meal prepping made no difference in your life and it actually made your life a little bit harder. Oh man, I would love to hear the story behind that one. Number 3, celebrate you. Celebrate it, right? This is the end of summer. This is the back to school, right? You have just rocked it out. Whatever you did last year, don't even worry about it, because this year, not only is it a brand new year, new you, but you're also in a higher grade, right? You're a higher version of yourself. You're a better version of yourself than you were last year. You have more to provide to the marketplace, to the world in general, than you did last year. So you, in essence, are a better person than you were last year, and that deserves celebration. When you get to be older, you realize that, you have to know 2 things. You have to know when you've won, and you need to celebrate those wins. Because we, as human beings, we can be very good at, cheering ourselves on. When we believe that we can do it, we can cheer ourselves on, and we don't get deterred from any of that. We have full confidence in ourselves to be able to get it done. At the same time, we can be our worst critics, right? And we can be the worst person to ourselves more than anything. And we can, drag ourselves down, and we can bring ourselves down into the depths of destruction better than anybody else on the planet, right? So that's where we need to just understand that as bad as we can be to ourselves, we can also be really good to ourselves. It's more just a choice than anything. But I'm not saying that everything that we do as people, everything that I do as a person is the most amazing thing for life. Every once in a while, I do need to be a little bit hard on myself. That's another thing too. You got to really understand that, you have to do it for yourself. There's nobody coming knocking on your door to make sure that you got enough sleep, right? Or that you did your homework the night before, or that you ate the nutrients that you needed to, right? Or that you did that, extracurricular activity to help your overall wellness. Nobody really cares, because everybody's got their own stuff going on. They have so much going on in their lives that they don't really have time to care about your problems. So therefore, you have to do what you can to help yourself. And when you do that, you need to give yourself the old high five, pat on the back right there. Tell yourself that you're awesome. Celebrate it. Give yourself a celebration. Maybe throw yourself a party. Have a drink if you want to, right? Eat some cake if that's what you indulge in. Have a nice big cookie. Maybe take yourself out for a nice meal. Definitely do what you need to do to celebrate yourself. Make sure that at least you know that you think you're awesome. My next tip here actually is what Hello World was, I guess, looking forward to, was essential oils. I mentioned a little bit before, essential oils are actually an amazing thing. They actually really help with, changing our emotions, helping to deal with stressful times, anxious feelings, stuff like that. There's actually a whole line here that doTERRA made. Let's see if I can kind of put it up here in somewhat of an organized fashion. But doTERRA actually made a kids line for this specific reason. And I can honestly tell you that as an adult, you better believe that these are some of my favorite oils. I use them a lot more often than I think I should. But that's okay, because these oils are amazing for especially back to school time, especially for changing in the seasons time, especially for different moments in life where we need to be a little bit better than we were before, right? We need a little bit more focus. There's a whole line here. The first one here is Thinker, the focus blend. Second one here is Steady, the grounding blend, right? When anxious feelings are a little bit high. Calmer, the restful blend, is great for helping promote that relaxing environment that is perfect for not only falling asleep, but staying asleep throughout the night. Stronger, protective blend. This one is a great for helping to boost the immune system, especially kids nowadays, right? And you know what? Kids in general of any era have been, let's get real here, dirty, disgusting creatures. They put their hands in anything that they can get a hold of. They put anything that they can in their mouth. And sometimes we need to do a little bit more to boost their immune system. That actually brings me to my next one here, which is the Tamer blend, a tummy tamer blend, which actually helps to soothe the digestive system. So when stuff that isn't supposed to be in there gets in there, and we need and we need some help getting it out. And then the last one that I got here is Rescuer, which is the soothing blend, which is the children's version of the Deep Blue soothing blend. That is actually my favorite oil, and that one is perfect for long days when you've been on your feet for a long time, when you've got muscle aches and inflammation happening. I love using that. And all of these are actually amazing. They come with these cool holders, tops right here. They're actually roller tops, right? So you just roll the top off. They've got a real little roller right here that you just roll on the area of concern. But then their lids also have these holes here that you can clip it onto the side of the backpack actually, and you can have them on the go, really anywhere you need it. And then my last tip here that I have is to consider life coaching. Life is hard, right? And we, as people, if we could do it by ourselves, we probably would have done it already. And just because you don't have everything figured out does not make you any less of a person than anybody else. The fact that you are willing to ask for help, actually, to me, is one of the toughest things that we can do in our life. And I praise you more than anything. If you or anybody you think or anybody you know is dealing with a little bit of hard times right now, feel free to book a free consultation with a certified life coach like myself. And who knows, maybe we can help each other get you back on the way to living the life that you know you dream of. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had a lot of fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils, getting a ticket to a convention, getting your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, definitely reach out to me. Booking a free consultation with a certified life coach. Reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week ahead, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.